Inspired by Love is a podcast hosted by Rachel Love, dedicated to promoting inspiration, hope, and giving a healthy dose of God's love for every aspect of life. Rachel is a seasoned inspirational enthusiast who uses witty commentary and biblical truths for real-life solutions, offers business strategies, health and wealth tips, and self-love care. Unlock the power tools to dig deeper, discover your untapped potential, and live your best extraordinary life. Here's your host, Rachel Love.
And welcome to Inspired by Love. I'm Rachel Love, and I am delighted to have my business partners and sisters in the Lord from Rich and Refine. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Yes, happy to be here.
I think you each have a unique story and journey, and we want to just kind of dive in and really explore what is this whole business of Forex. So Stephanie, let me start with you. Can you just give us a little bit of your background?
So I am a busy mom of three kids under 11. And I'm also a business owner. I'm a personal trainer and have been for the past 13 years. So
Wow. That's exciting. And Ms. Jacquees, give us a little bit of your journey.
I am a single mom of a 5-year-old daughter. She is my world. And I was a personal trainer for moms, and I did Mommy and Me fitness and wellness for it to reduce postpartum depression through fitness.
Awesome.
And I was a teacher.
Awesome. Wow. And Ms. Starr, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Absolutely. So I am a creative brain, an artist. I also am part of a really great organization, a nonprofit foster and adoption agency that my grandfather founded back in 1997, and I just love it. So
Wow. Well, I just want to say this, as being a member and part of the Rich and Refined team, we have the cream of the crop right here. You all are instructors and teachers in your own right. You have really grasped the strategies and training methodologies. And really, I want to kind of just get into what your journey has been since you've been involved in Forex. So Stephanie, can you just elaborate for us, for our listeners, so they can be intrigued about your journey?
well, I really, when the pandemic hit, I just started to think, it took a hit on my business, and I saw other people losing their jobs, and I really just started to think that I need to start putting my eggs in more baskets and not have all my eggs in one basket in a business, because it could be gone. And times are changing, and I just thought that I need to add another stream of income, and I'd like to spend more time with my kids. And Forex just came into my life, and I saw that how easy it was to just stay home, make money from my phone, and not have to clock in, but to just to make money from my phone. And it's been an amazing, just absolutely incredible.
Wow, I love it. And Jacquees, can you share a little bit of your journey since you have joined Forex?
So for me, I was a teacher, and when the pandemic hit, everything shut down and my hours were cut in half, and I was already working part-time, and I needed income for myself and for my daughter. And so when the solution came about of entering into the foreign exchange market, it was like, yes, this is it. I didn't hesitate at all. And to know that I can, like Stephanie mentioned, just put in a few numbers and make money from my phone, tablet, computer. It blew my mind. It felt so surreal. And so I am ever so grateful for this solution that sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's real. Oh my gosh, I didn't just dream this, right? I'm home with my daughter. Yes. So that right there has been my journey.
Wow, that is incredible. That we are currently still in a global pandemic, but however, we have found the solution that has been able to supplement our income. And so that leads me to my next person, Ms. Star. And I want you to kind of share your journey within Forex.
So, absolutely. My journey trading, it's a funny story. I just have to share it. When I was introduced to this, one of my girlfriends called me up and she said, hey girl, you still working? You in the pandemic? And I thought she was going to ask for some money. and so I just quickly was like, yeah, I'm still working. How about you? And she presented this opportunity and I've been running ever since. I was still working. I'm still working. And because I'm still working, I'm finding that between our group, Rich and Refine, and my work practice, it is starting to become an alignment, right? So my leadership development skills are overflowing there, and it's a beautiful thing, honestly, to me. But I haven't stopped running since. I love it. I'm teaching. I'm helping. It's a beautiful place to be.
That's awesome. So Stephanie, can you just elaborate on, you have children at home under 11, you have a business. So how have you been able to fit Forex into your busy schedule?
You know what? That was a great question. And honestly, I give it 1 to 2 hours every day. I just dedicate a certain amount of time to learning the skill. And watching these short videos, it honestly can fit into anyone's schedule. And I was home to have that time, and my hours were, I had less hours working in my trade as a trainer. So I just made the time. I said I need to just make the time and fit it into my schedule. So I schedule out a period of time and I get it done.
Awesome. And yes, you do. So Jacquees, can you tell us, you're juggling, you're a mommy, how has that impacted you with your fitness business? Are you still doing that, or do you plan to do that? Do you plan to let Forex expand your business?
Yes. So I I was in the process of developing an online class, a series of videos that help moms with their wellness and with affirmations, and it was coupled with a journal. And I was in the process of doing that, and I had a platform and everything, but again, that funding dwindled as my hours got cut. And so I plan on relaunching it because I want Forex to fund my life. It's been funding my life, and I can live my legacy. And so, but I am going to implement it in such a way to help me define purpose, and fund purpose and destiny. So, yeah.
Awesome. Miss Star, in your journey and your working, how are you able to see the future? Where do you see your future with this Forex, and how are you're going to press on to envision the dreams and aspirations?
Right. So with Forex and just the idea and platform of trading, period, my vision, my goal, my dream is to teach this to youth. It is essentially a way to fight back.
Yes.
You don't have to go to a protest. You don't have to. It's a way to fight back. It's a way to literally take the God-given gift and talent and pour out into other people. The beautiful aspect of this is as you're learning, as you're trading, and as you're growing and understanding, you have a group of people that are with you. So for me, I would love to recreate that. I'd love to duplicate that. Our chairwoman, Deanna, has done an awesome job of just showing us what that looks like. And so for me, I think if I can take this skill that I've learned and show somebody who's struggling, for my kids, my youth out there, and just show them and have them understand and learn and watch them run with it. Because I see that. I see that. And for me, that's a biggie. I'm working on a nonprofit right now, and this is definitely incorporated. So I'm excited.
So not only are you buying back the block, you are really instilling generational wealth. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about how we can instill this skill set. It's a mindset. First of all, you mentioned your God-given right. So I just want to put this out there because God said the silver and the gold belong to him. If you belong to him, guess what? Those things belong to you. And I was reading a passage, I don't know exactly where, but they were in the temple and Jesus came in and they were conducting business inside of the house of the Lord. But one of the things that stood out to me were the money changers. So actually, foreign exchange has been established back in Bible days. You know, isn't that funny? I'm like, it just stood out. So I'm just saying, when you listen, when you come upon the information, it helps you make a sound decision. Is this something of God? Is this something that you want me to participate in? I just have one question. If you're working on a job, you're getting money. You're not working for free, right? You're getting a check. And the Lord, he only requires us to give 10%. So when we take our 10% and give it back to the Lord does not need it. But he's saying, I'm going to bless the rest of your money. So this is an opportunity to allow God to get in because the whole world system, the enemy has it, you know? So God is allowing us because really the 1% wealthy have this solution and this tool. We have been out of this market and now we have been introduced. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there if anyone is just wondering like, well, you know, is that of God? They doing foreign exchange, they doing digital currency? No. If you're working on a job, God said, if you don't work, you don't eat. So we're looking at this as a business tool. It is a mindset. It is a skill set that you can actually learn and teach others. Teach your children, teach your neighbor, teach those that you love so they can come into the full knowledge too. So getting back to Stephanie and your journey, how do you see yourself just elevating your family, helping that generational wealth develop?
You know, I mean, my three kids, I mean, I'm definitely going to be teaching them how to trade because this is a skill that no one can take away from you. And Forex is not going anywhere. So I'm definitely, you know, just teaching them how to build wealth for their, you know, children and their children's children. And so it's absolutely something that once you learn, you cannot, you know, you just have to keep going and you teach someone else. So that is absolutely my goal, is to have my children know exactly how to build wealth and invest in their future and their children's future.
Well, basically, it's a principle. So we're passing down the principle and the knowledge. But we know knowledge is power only when applied. So we have to apply the information and the tools and the principles that we're learning so that our children, our youth of today can come up and be empowered, no longer having a mindset of scarcity, no more having a lack mentality, no more hoarding, saying, I only got $2. It's like you don't got to have a broke mentality. And that's God really wants us to see. Jesus came to seek and save the lost, but also to free us from the bondage, free us from the sin and death, free us in our minds, free us in our bodies, allow us to live an abundant life. So we're speaking abundance, prosperity. Those are words that should be in our vocabulary. We should see ourselves wealthy and rich and full of grace and mercy. And so, Jacquees, how are you planning to pass down this tool to your daughter?
So for me, I am, even now, she's curious about the charts and she's asking questions. And so since she's learning how to add and subtract and numbers all together in kindergarten, I'm saying, okay, this is the base rate. This is $1. And so teaching her money, how to save. So there's a system that I have in place for her for saving. So she's understanding, because when we ultimately save, we're also inserting ourselves into the foreign exchange market as well. That's a manual way. And so I'm teaching her those skills even now. And so and coupling it with her curriculum. And that's how I'm able to do that with her. And that's something that I actually desire to teach with families and single moms. I want, like you said, that broke mentality. And that is something that is dear to my heart, to see that generational wealth, that it's that broke mindset stopping with that person, that seed. Yes. And so that right there alone is will help with the generational wealth, and even being a testament of it with my daughter for other people.
I believe that the generational curse has infiltrated our communities. And so now that we can recognize it, we see it. So it's like, okay, it starts with mindset. We are in Rich and Refined. We have mindset, motivation. We are learning how to rethink. The Bible said you have to renew your mind daily. So that means you have to put in good things so you can think on those things, and then you begin to say those things. You really begin to see yourself as God sees you. And I think that's the lesson that we can even learn and teach to others. It's not just our own family, but we begin to impact communities and states and nations, and then globally. I see this as a global thing that we can really help individuals really come out of that broke mentality. It's broken in the name of Jesus. That's what I'm claiming, and that's what I'm saying. But Ms. Starr, can you give us just a typical day of trading for yourself?
Sure, I do, but I also just want to speak really, really quickly to the broke mentality people.
Okay.
Because for me, I didn't have it yet, and so I just want to tell you that even if that's where you are right now, that's not where you have to stay, right? Because it looks like we are well put together and rich and refined, because we are, but for me, I didn't start off that way. And so I just wanted to say that. But as far as my trading goes, so I have a whole strategy on how I trade. What I did was I broke down the time that I would be allowed to trade, the time I could spend on trading. For me, it would be after work. And what I've done is I've identified an educator that I vibe with, right? So somebody who breaks it down in a way that I get it, that I understand it, and I study them. So I practice with them. I printed out their schedule for when they're available. We have a student portal that allows us to actually interact with our educators. And so I choose that time, and I consider that a sacred time. I make sure that I'm tuned in and I'm studying. What I love about this is I don't have to get a grade for studying. There's no test at the end. It's and that for me is just so helpful. So I trade using that platform, and I've also really become so intrigued with this compound plan. So if you know, our compound plan is amazing. And what that does essentially is it teaches you discipline. And that's something that I lacked before this opportunity. And it's a motivation in itself, just to see that number increase, and it gives you something to stay committed to. So I definitely have a strategy when it comes to how I trade. I understand my risk to reward, understand, with precision what it is that I'm doing. And it's been fun figuring that out.
Well, you know what? I am so glad that I am at least being mentored by you, so I can really put those practices into my routine, because you said a key point is discipline. If you haven't been disciplined, and both of you have young children, my children are much older, but they lack the discipline. So it's never too late to learn. That's all I want to say. I don't care what age you are. I'm very seasoned. And, some people may think I'm in my 30s, but a little plus. I'm not giving nothing away, but I'm just saying, it is really good to find a solution and a team. Not only that we can work together, but we pray together, we trade together, and we win together. So, Stephanie, give the listeners your social media handle so they can at least follow you.
So I under Coach Steph. So Coach.Steph with an F. So STEF. That I do have some fitness on there because fitness is my life, and so I look at it as I'm helping people get financially and physically fit. So
I love it.
You can follow me there.
I love it. Yes. And Jacquees, do you have a handle that you can give our listeners?
Yes, my Instagram is at Jacquees, JACQUESE_inspires, and you will get fitness, faith, family, and Forex all in one.
I love it. And Miss Star, what is your handle?
So it's right there on the bottom of the screen, but boom, I came prepared. So Stars Armor. And also follow us, Rich and Refined.
Rich and Refined. I was just gonna say that.
Definitely. So Stars Armor is where you can find me, and there's lots to dig into. I'm all about the people. I'm all about God. I'm all about Forex. I'm all about art. I'm everywhere.
Yes, I love it. And I think this is definitely a platform that has allowed us to tap into our God-given talents and gifts. I'm an event planner. I've been doing it for 25 years, but since the pandemic, God has allowed me to start my podcast. So I'm now a podcast host. So, there's a lot of things I still want to do. So Stephanie, give us one dream that you would love Forex to fund.
Well, I believe I'm a philanthropist at heart. I believe in, ending human trafficking. I want to see safe houses built for, trafficking victims. I want to fund people's dreams. I want to, be able to write a check and to help someone go to college that's underprivileged, or someone that their family cannot afford that. And so now I'm seeing that I can teach them this as well to, to their families. So it just keeps adding, but that's ultimately my dream, is to give back in huge ways.
And just give us 2 takeaways for the listeners. You know, if someone is on the fence, someone is listening, and you have intrigued them, but they still have questions. They may have doubts. What would you tell them?
You know what? So right now, if you think about your situation, things are not going back to normal. Mm-hmm. And if you jump in with both feet, and you could either work out or not work out, but at least if it doesn't work out, you learned a lesson. If it does work out, the possibilities are endless. And so that's what I would say to you is, if this is hitting you, if this is, striking a chord with you and you are still listening, then I would absolutely take a shot.
Awesome. Ms. Jacquees, tell us one thing that you believe Forex can fund for you, and then give us 2 takeaways that you've learned.
Definitely. So Forex will fund, speaking it into existence.
That's right.
Freedom, financial freedom for families, and especially mothers who suffer from postpartum depression. I definitely want to help those mothers and show them that it is possible that they are still themselves even after becoming mommy. And so that is something that I really do desire to take on. And I believe that, actually, I know that Forex is definitely going to do that. 2 takeaways?
Yes.
2 takeaways for me is definitely, if you're on the fence, I would say there's a saying that if you could fly and you take that leap, and you as a person, you're saying, oh, but what if I fall? But what if you fly?
Yes.
And that is something, that reason why I usually don't hesitate for much. And I would encourage you to be that risk taker. Most entrepreneurs are risk takers. And the other thing that I would say to you is, it is your right to be rich. It is not any way, shape, or form for you to be struggling or stay in a situation, no matter how hard it may be for you to leave it. But once you do and you say yes, you're embarking on a journey of freedom of self, freedom for, if you have children, your grandchildren, even your family. And so your tribe it's waiting for you. And just imagine, if you say yes, the many people you can stand in front of and globally impact. So that's what I would say.
Wow, wow, wow. That is so, see, this is part of Rich and Refined. We are all embodying the word so that we become every day 1% better. So, Ms. Starr, I know you have something juicy for us. Drop those gems. What do you see Forex funding for you? And give us 2 takeaways that you would leave with the listeners.
Absolutely. So I thought about this, and it became plain and very clear. What's really interesting is when my username for the student portal is Black Wealth Matters, right? For me, our kids, our youth, our people, we lack mentorship.
Yes.
That was something that my grandfather taught me and instilled in me, each one teach one, help somebody. If you are a person who just needs a friend, you can find that too. So for me, my 2 takeaways would be, believe in yourself. And I know that's so cliche, but it's possible. It's possible. It's definitely possible to grow. It's definitely possible to become. And for my hustlers out there, I just need to follow me and DM me, because there's so many ways. There's so many possibilities. There's so many possibilities that you can leverage this. You can use this as a vehicle to get to where you need to go. And that's why we're all here. My last thing is, once you're in it, do not quit. Keep going. I've only been here for a couple months and I'm already teaching people. I'm literally teaching people, showing people. And that brings me joy. That is what makes me happy. So keep going.
Well, you know what? I believe we each have walked into our purpose. The purpose was always with us, but I believe God allows us to go through things so you can see your strength and your character. And once they are developed, he says, what? Have belief and have faith. It takes faith to do this, but you can be taught the skill to master it. So my takeaway, one of the books that we are learning right now, the number one principle about the 4 agreements is be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable. And impeccable, you just mean you're standing in your truth. Your word is your bond. You don't say something flippant. You are very intentional about what you speak into the atmosphere, because our words are containers of life. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. That's Proverbs 18:21, so I got that confused, but I just want to leave you with that. Again, follow us on Instagram, Rich and Refine, the letter N, RICHN, Refined. And as the ladies have left you with their social media handles, please reach out. Please send a message. My challenge is drop us a DM so you too can learn more about this solution, because it could be the thing you've been praying for to change your life. And to my listeners and followers, be sure to subscribe, like, and share. And as always, be inspired by love. Bye now.
Thank you for tuning in to Inspired by Love. Join us every Wednesday for the juice to be inspired. Like, follow, and share this podcast. Be sure to leave a positive rating